When I think of Porsches, the cars that come to my mind are the icons. The 911, the 930 Turbo, the 959, the Carrera GT, the 356. But the fact of the matter is, over the past 20 years, Porsche has been super successful at selling SUVs, and the first of those is the Cayenne. In the past 20 years, the Cayenne has sold in record numbers. In fact, if I'm not wrong, it is the largest selling Porsche in history. So we're celebrating 20 years of the Cayenne. We're taking them off-road, we're taking them on-road to see why is the Cayenne so successful? Why do people across the world love it? Is it really that capable? We'll find out in our drive today. So as we celebrate 20 years of the Cayenne, Porsche has brought us to Dubai to what they call is Camp Cayenne. We started off the day driving the Generation 1 of the Cayenne, the facelifted models. But these were cars that had been modified. They had lifted suspension, off-road wheels and tires, and other changes that made them very easy to drive on a fairly challenging bit of terrain. But then what Porsche did was even more radical. We are in the new Cayenne Coupe GTS. This is one of the more driver-focused versions of the Cayenne Coupe. It looks great, it sounds fantastic, and it's on 22-inch wheels, which is fine. I mean, it's excellent for the road. But Porsche is taking us off-roading in the GTS. Now, 22-inch wheels and off-roading, well, that's a bit of a tough one. And to make things even spicier, Porsche said, well, we won't take the traditional trail, we will just make our own. So we are in the middle of nowhere, in the desert, in this rocky terrain, just trying to find our way out of here. How's the Cayenne Coupe GTS performing till now? Well, it seems to be doing everything you need to do. The suspension has been lifted, it's in rock mode, the differential has been engaged, and it's very, very impressive. What a car meant to be driven fast on the road, on the track with 22-inch wheels can do off-road. Later, we will take this onto the road and I'll bring you more updates about how the GTS drives in different conditions. So after a fairly serious bit of off-roading, we are back onto the highway in the Cayenne Coupe GTS. So how does it feel on the highway? Well, I have to say, in GTS spec, of course, the Coupe has a lot of power, but you also get sharper steering, you get suspension that's more suited to spirited driving. And on these beautiful highways in Dubai, actually it feels naturally at home. Doing 3-digit speeds is a joke. The exhaust, it has an active exhaust, makes a beautiful noise, and it really is good fun to drive. When we are driving it through the twisty mountain roads, you also feel that the steering has been specifically set up. It's really sharp, it's a very fast track. The car really turns around very, very quickly. You also get to see that with the carbon fiber roof, Cayenne Coupe GTS has a fairly low center of gravity. It doesn't feel like an SUV, a typical SUV that you're driving. Body roll is very controlled, and overall it's got phenomenal performance. The other thing, and I think that's been one of the defining features of the Cayenne, is that the quality of the interiors. We've got these houndstooth seats, the leather surfaces, the carbon fiber. It just feels exquisitely put together. Feels like a really good place to be, and especially with the driving appeal, I really cannot find any fault with the Cayenne Coupe GTS. We've taken it off-road, we are driving it on-road. Sure, the rear headroom might be a little limited, and sure, it's priced at a premium, but when you drive it, you see the engineering quality, you see the quality of the car. You can understand why Porsche with the Cayenne and its other cars has been so successful over the years. Just when I was thinking that we've seen the complete breadth of talent that a Porsche Cayenne Coupe offers, having taken it off-road, having driven it on the road and enjoyed both settings, Porsche Middle East has turned up the heat and told us that we are now driving in the desert with the car. Now remember, these are cars that are on 21, 22-inch alloys. They're not really suited for well, mild dune bashing. But here we are in the desert, driving across the sand, and the car's performing admirably. Whether it's climb, whether it's rutting through deep sand, it's really doing wonders, and something that I would never expect a Cayenne would do. Of course, we've deflated the tires to a certain extent to give it more traction in the sand. We've also switched off the traction control system. We've got the electronics to work in sand mode. And well, even if it's mild dune bashing, and it continues to surprise me with the breadth of its talent. Yeah, it might be more expensive than some of its competitors, but it is really talented, and it's a car that you can almost literally take anywhere, given that maybe you shouldn't spec the 22-inch wheels and go for something smaller.